Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Fahad Mirza and I'm very excited to share with you this new project from Microsoft called as TinyTroupe. TinyTroupe is an Python library that allows the simulation of people with specific personalities, interests and goals. These AI agents or artificial agents, which are called as tiny persons, can listen to us and one another. They can also reply back and go about their lives in their own simulated tiny world environments. This is powered by large language models, mainly through OpenAI's GPT-4 models. Primarily, what they are doing is they are creating and generating realistic simulated behavior. We are going to install this TinyTroupe locally, and then I will show you how you can create a simulated world for a specific use case. And not only you can create it for customizable personas, you can also specify conditions of your own choosing. The primary focus of this project is to understand human behavior and not on directly supporting something from agentic software. This results in, among other things, specialized mechanism that makes sense only in a simulation setting. There could be a lot of use cases. For example, take the example of software testing. TinyTroupe can provide test input to systems such as search engine, chatbots, or copilots. Another interesting bit could be that, for example, you are heavily into the advertisement and marketing. You want to select which Bing ads or Google ads are performing well and which are not, even before spending a dime. You can create a simulation around it with these tiny persons with the help of TinyTroupe, and you can simply use them to see which ads work best and then only spend money on those ads. And the scenarios are limitless, and we will also see one of them. So let's get started, and I'm going to install the TinyTroupe locally and we will see how it works. Before I do that, let me introduce you to the sponsors of the video. These are our good friends at AgentQL who are sponsoring this video. AgentQL is a query language that turns any web page into a data source. With its Python SDK and live debugging tool, you can scrape and interact with web content. AgentQL works on any page, it is resilient, it is reusable, and it structures the output according to the shape of your query, and I will drop the link to their website in video's description. Okay, let's go to my Ubuntu system. You can use Windows, you can use Mac OS, as we will be using hosted API from OpenAI, and you can also use Azure Cloud Services with OpenAI for using the GPT-4, and you don't really need a GPU for this. Okay, so I have this Ubuntu version where I'm going to create a conda that is highly recommended to create everything separate from your local system. And if you don't know what conda is, please search my channel. I already have covered it in a very simple to understand instructions. So it is installing the Python 3.10 conda at the moment. And that is all done. Let's git clone the repo of TinyTroupe, and I will also drop the link to it in video's description. That is done. As I mentioned earlier, it only works with OpenAI GPT-4, so you need to set the API key in the environment variable. So I'm going to set this key and then clear the screen. If you are following along, you can obtain your key from platform.openai.com. That is a paid option. And now we need to install all the requirements from the root of the repo with pip install dot. It is going to take a minute or two, so let's wait for it to get completed. And it has installed a lot of things, and interestingly enough, that includes llama index, llama parse, and a lot of other stuff. Okay, so installation is done. Next, let me launch my Jupyter notebook so that we could run the simulation in that one. Let's wait for it to get launched. And the Jupyter notebook is launched here. Let's import the libraries which we have installed. And these are all the TinyTroupe and other stuff. So let me run it. And shouldn't take too long. It is also giving you the disclaimer about this TinyTroupe, what is API type we are using, and then the model and all that stuff. And if you want to change it, in the root of the repo there is a config.ini file which you can change if you want to change it to some other model. Now the scenario which I'm going to create, or a simulation which I'm going to create, is an interview with a customer. So let's define some of the agents and their goals. So first up, we are defining this tiny person factory. So it's a whole world which we are defining. That, for example, this is one of the largest bank in Brazil, full of bureaucracy and legacy systems. And then the person is, and this is a profile of the person, that VP of one product innovation, degree in engineering and MBA in finance, is facing a lot of pressure from the board of directors to fight off the competition from fintech. So let's generate it. And then we can check from our LLM what sort of customer it has generated. So it should give it a name. There you go. So Lucas Almeida, it has just given it a name and all that stuff. So you see, we haven't given it any name or anything, but it has properly generated our character or our person. And now we can conduct the interview with Lucas. So customer.think, I'm not talking to a business and technology consultant to help me with my professional problem. So Lucas is thinking that, so let's try it out. There you go. So you see, Lucas Almeida, this is a thought that I'm not talking to a business and technology consultant to help me with this. And tiny person name is Lucas Almeida. So we are proceeding in the interview with Lucas. So customer.listen and act. What would you say are your main problems today? Please be as specific as possible. And then we have reduced it to 3000. So let me run it. And be aware of the cost of it, because it is calling the OpenAI's API, and the cost could go out of hand pretty quickly, but that is the only option we have. And towards the end I will also show you how much it has cost me. So there you go. You see, just look at this. So this is a conversation that this is what we asked from Lucas. Lucas thought, and then I will now act in a bit, and the issue done. There you go. So Lucas has acted here after thinking. So thought and talk. Thought, I will now act as a bit, and then issue done. This is done. So first it decided what it is going to do. That talk and done. So it has thought, talk and done. This is the whole scenario here. Okay, so let's proceed with the interview with Lucas. So now we are asking it that, can you elaborate on fintechs? And then Lucas again thought, I will now act as a bit, and then issue done. So now it is thinking. It is still thinking. So let's wait for it to finish thinking. There you go. So this is thinking finished. Talk started. It is telling us what is fintech, and then it has issued the done. So this just sounds like that walkie-talkie from the old movies where they just say over. So they are saying done here. Anyway, again, the interview continues. We are just asking it now that if you could improve in one of these aspects to better compete. Again, Lucas is thinking, and then it is going to do the talk and then issue the done. And then we can also ask it another one, that please give me more detail about that, so that we can think about a project to pursue this direction. So now they are moving towards implementation. What could be done about this issue? Again, Lucas is thinking. And if you really think about it, this could be used as an interview in any sort of situation where these agents will be talking to you, talking to each other. And this is just a simulation where we have created this bank environment. We have created a tiny person, and we can create as many tiny persons as we like. And just to give you a quick example of multiple agents talking and then to create a whole sort of social network, let me give you a very quick example. So first, just for the completion, I'm importing these libraries which we have installed, and then maybe we can create our own world. So this tiny world is a focus group, and then there are 3 agents here: Lisa, Oscar and Marcos, and we have defined them in some sort of data scientist and predefined role sort of thing, which it is quite intelligent to pursue, by the way. And then we can broadcast a message to this world, something like this, where we are broadcasting that, folks, we need to brainstorm ideas for a new product. Your mission is to discuss potential AI feature ideas to add to Microsoft Word. In general, we want features that make you or your industry more productive, taking advantage of all the latest AI tech. Please start the discussion now. There you go. See, so Lisa is speaking, Oscar is speaking, and then Marcos is speaking. So you get the gist of it. And then you can just make it autonomous by running this world like this, world.run 4. It will be 4 turns. So Lisa is thinking, and just keep looking at this, and I will keep it running. So Lisa is thinking she needs to do this, and then Lisa is going to act. I will now act, and then issue done. There you go. And this is all model working. Then Oscar comes, and then Oscar is thinking, and then there you go. So again Lisa, then Marcos chimes into the discussion. There you go. And they are just talking among themselves. Again Lisa is speaking. So you see how quick they are talking among themselves. So because I specified 4 steps, so this is the second step now, and it is keeping the memory from the previous step. So whatever ideas which were discussed in the previous step, they are now brainstorming on those ones, and it is taking a bit of a time. So it is not just going through the motion, it is doing something. There you go. So now they're combining the aesthetics and stuff. This is going to make me really bankrupt, I guess. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So you see that you get the idea. So we are just running the world is running on its own. I'm not doing anything now. In the previous interview one, I was directing it, but here I have just given them the personalities, created the characters, I have given them the task, and they are doing whatever they need to do in order to come up with the idea. And now it is a focus group, step 3 or 4. You see that Lisa is thinking. Let's wait for it to finish. It is taking a bit of a time. So let's keep the idea flowing, see what other innovation features we can come up with. Cool stuff. And then again, Oscar is coming up. And now they are at the step 4 of the focus group. One thing to be remembered here is that this is a very, very early stage. This project has just been released in maybe a couple of hours ago, and significant development is happening still. Further tidying up is being done. API is still subject to frequent changes. So it's an experimental stage. So make sure that you are aware of it. But even just looking at this early stage, you can tell that how cool that is. Really, really good stuff. Really amazing. And then you see that towards the end, everyone is aligned, everyone is just on the same page. There you go. So that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what do you think about this. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And towards the end, let me quickly check my cost. So it has cost me around just close to $2 US in with the whole stuff which I just showed you. So still fairly expensive, but I think this cost is going to come down. And if we could use it with open models down the road in the future, that will be, or free models, local models, that will be amazing. So that's it. I will drop the link to it in video's description. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you are already subscribed, please share it among your network as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.